Master Duel definitely needs a ban list sometime soon. Don't be like the 33.8% of you guys who have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we can get beyond 100,000 here. First thing I want to talk about here is a generalized hit to Drytron, and what we're proposing is Ben 10 to 1. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the TCG put Ben 10 to 1 and it had effectively checked this deck straight out the door. Left it semi-playable, but the way that Master Duel is in terms of a powerhouse format, Drytron feels like the most oppressive deck in the room, straight behind Eldritch, but we'll talk about that later on in this video here. So we've considered looking at Ava as a possible hit to this, and following up with a possible semi-extra hit to Ava to 1 would definitely put this deck back to the Stone Age where we had it in the last previous list here, at least for the TCG side of things, where the deck was still borderline tier 1. It wasn't quite 1.5, but it definitely held that line there for meta contender to be able to do something. Triple Ben 10 resolving at every possible feasible corner, multiple Ava drops. It really is unfun to play against a deck that literally you snap your fingers and you're like, oh shit, my opponent has more cards in their hand than I do, which means that that Herald of Ultimateness or Herald of Perfection will get more negates. It'll just burn me out of the game. And by any stretch of the imagination, when you have a deck present like that in the game that is so oppressive and so overbearing, you kind of got to ask yourself at this point in time, is that what we want for Master Duel kind of going forward here? And I believe the answer is, for now, for the next couple of weeks / month until a ban list comes out here, we do need to put that on the check-a-rooney list, because that level of oppressive power is nothing short of absolutely crazy, especially in a 1-out-of-1 format, ladies and gentlemen. Next up here is Supreme King Starving Venom. Now, for those of you that don't know, there is an FTK that does exist in the format, and it's because of Starving King Venomy Dragon Friend. And let's be honest here, is it achievable every single game? No. But the fact that this FTK does exist in the game, you got to ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen, is this an unfair experience? I'm already seeing reports out here, Pendulum FTK going 20-0, 22-1. Insane numbers out here. All right, Starving Venomy is very unique in the fact of it must be either fusion summon or special summon by attributing the above cards, which are 2 Dark Pendulums. Once turn, target one other monster on the field or in the graveyard. Till the end phase, this card's name becomes that monster's original name, and replace this effect with that monster's original effect. Also, for the rest of this turn, if your opponent or if your monsters attack a defense with this monster, you get piercing damage on your opponent. This is basically just 2 dark monsters equals an FTK. All right, you have the the Assembled Nightingale you basically use with this. So you make 2 of these, Assembled Nightingale, like FTK burn your opponent. And as I said, when you have a game like this that you're trying to market to more of a semi-casual player base, having an FTK present in the game is not good marketing at all. All right, I know a lot of the OCG player base doesn't really tend to, at least not from what I've seen, try to go down like the dark OTK path that is present with this, but the TCG players are the ones that are definitely exploring the more degenerate side of things on Master Duel. So all things being considered at this point in time, you either need to check this card to 1, or we need to get this card straight on Banville out of the game, just for the intents and purposes of, hey, Konami, FTKs are bad, okay? Alright, there's a reason why certain things don't exist in this game. Next up, I want to talk about Maxi here. Is Maxi at fine at 3? Now, here's the thing. I think having the OCG, having the TCG, and having Master Duel be inherently 3 separate formats, absolutely marketing genius. All right, I love it. I think the way that this format is designed, Maxi is a very good supplement to the format. All the players that really enjoy Maxi enjoy that defining power creep that the card kind of brings to the table. I think that having that present, at least in one scale here, where you can kind of bring the best of both worlds together here, I think is a very fun and interactive idea. the multitude of formats available is what is saving Master Duel, in my opinion. If this game were to totally catch up to the current TCG format, if something goes wrong in the TCG format, you're like, oh, I don't want to play this format right now. I don't want to go play the Master Duel version of it and experience the exact same IRL functionality that's already oppressingly burning me out of playing the physical card game. Having that supplementation of a completely different experience is what is worth it. And I think that Maxi is a very, very good niche interaction with that. And considering how Maxi is interacting with the card pool so far in the game, I don't think we really need to worry about hitting it at this point in time. I think Maxi 3 is fine in Master Duel. For people that are screaming at the top of their lungs, wanting to see Maxi limited in Master Duel, or even banned from the game, go play the physical card game. Let Master Duel have its time. Let it have the interaction point for the more nostalgic player base that quit a couple years back, and let them go, oh, I love Maxi. Let us be able to enjoy that, ladies and gentlemen. And I think, with that mentality said there, it's kind of my piece on Maxi in the game. Now, what needs to be done to Eldritch, the king of floodgates? Do we need to put skill drain to 1? What are we looking at here? Now, I think the general consensus across the board here is most players hate the ever-living shit out of Eldritch, and I kind of agree with you. An oppressive floodgate deck that promotes the interaction of no side decking. Let's be honest here, if side decking existed in Master Duel, oh, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You wouldn't have to deal with Eldritch as powerfully as this. You just board those lightning storms, those other things. Because the game is designed on a 1-out-of-1 preference, it's a different ball game. All right, now, that being said, is it skill drain? Is it goes to match? Is it Imperial Order? Is it Vanity's Emptiness, or is it just like the combination cluster of all of these here that makes Eldritch the big bad guy in the room? And I think the answer is it's probably going to hone down to skill drain being more of the oppressive bully here. All things being considered, though, I think that they're definitely going to take some time to look at Eldritch, or they're just going to tell the player base, hey, get good. Play some back row removal in your goddamn deck. All right? It's not that hard, ladies and gentlemen. In the words of the finest Yu-Gi-Oh! Scholars in existence, get good, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what the appropriate hit to this would be, other than I would say possibly going after skill drain, but then there are plenty of replacements out there to kind of check and replace that. I mean, Rivalry and Gozen just being two powerhouses that you can play anyway, it doesn't really matter because they both effectively do the same thing at the end of the day, which floodgate you out of playing the game. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I do want to read some interesting comments from you guys to kind of see what the right thoughts would be, to kind of see where that goes. And then next up here is, can we move Red Eyes Dark Dragoon to 1 in this game? Now, if you look at the philosophy of the TCG here, it does nothing here. But the problem is Master Duel is designed on a 1-out-of-1 premise. And if every deck just wants to turbo out Dragoon Master 9000 here, then you kind of are going to experience the Eldritch effect. You're going to see all these players that are jumping to this. You're going to see Splash Dragoon, I think, everywhere. As much as Dragoon kind of failed here in the TCG as an adaptive powerhouse here, I don't think that Master Duel can conceptually handle it based on the 1-out-of-1 system. As much as I'd be curious to see how it would actually work and test, I think the interactions from the OCG side of things, whether or not it be from the 1-out-of-1 results that they had over there versus, you know, what Master Duel is set up to do, as much as I think it's okay we could do it based on everything else happening in the format, I don't think we're going to see Dragoon move to 1. But there is a chance with the release of Destroy Phoenix Enforcer into the game that they could just say screw it and open up the floodgates, or maybe they'll take preemptive hits to quite possibly check these things in the future. Maybe you could see Destroy Phoenix Enforcer and Dragoon exist in the same format, or maybe they could check things a whole lot more extremely. I'm not sure how that cookie is going to go as we head into the release of that. But that being said, you've got a lot of interesting questions and things to ask yourself as that door opens up here. So that's my early thoughts on a ban list. I'm assuming that they want everything to kind of remain relevant because I don't know. Maybe they'll make players want to craft new stuff like Sword Soul. Alright, we'll have to wait and see. So guys, please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on today with some more cool awesome content. Peace out, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.